In this video, we are going to look at section 2, which is markup based on selling price. In the first section, we calculated markup as a percentage of the cost of an item. The cost was the base and represented 100%. So that is primarily used, as we discussed, by manufacturers and wholesalers. Now in this section, we are going to look at markup calculated as a percentage of the selling price. So the selling price will be the base, and that will represent 100%. So this is used mostly by retailers, as most retail records and statistics are kept in sales dollars. So when selling price is 100%, the markup is expressed as a percent. So it's the percent markup based on cost equals the markup over the selling price. And you can see on our guided notes that I've listed here several equations that will be helpful in solving these problems. So let's take a look at the first problem. If a computer has a cost of $544 and is selling for $999.99, what is the percent markup based on the selling price? So we have the selling price, we've got the cost that they pay for it. The first thing we have to do is calculate the markup. So we subtract 999.99 and we subtract 544. The markup is $455.99. Then we are going to use this equation. Markup divided by the selling price will give us our percent markup, and it's 45.6%. So go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to do the your turn problem, quality hardware and garden supplies, and then start the video again and we'll continue. Okay, so you should have had a chance to try the your turn problem. That answer is example 7 on page 238. Compare your work and your answer as well. So let's take a look at calculating the selling price when we know the cost and the percent markup. This is the equation we're going to use. The selling price equals the cost divided by 100% minus the percent markup on selling price. So a store purchases beds for $212.35. If the store policy is to mark up all merchandise 42% based on the selling price, what is the retail selling price of the beds? So the store gets these beds for $212.35. That's their cost. So we have to think about how we are going to put this together. So we are going to put $212.35 divided by, and then this is important, 100% minus 42%. And then convert that to a decimal because we always convert the percents to a decimal. So 212.35 divided by 0.58 equals $366.12. So that's the retail selling price of the beds. So go ahead now, pause the video, and I want you to do the High Point Furniture purchases problem here on the guided notes. So pause now and solve that. Okay, you can check your answer to the High Point Furniture problem on page 239 of your textbook, example 8. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email. So now let's take a look at calculating the cost. So the cost is equal to the selling price times 100% minus the percent markup on the selling price. Let's take a look at an example. A buyer is looking for a line of shoes to retail for $79.95. If the objective is a 55% markup based on selling price, what's the most the buyer can pay for the shoes and still get the desired markup. So we are going to use this equation. We know that the selling price is $79.95. We know that the percent markup is 55. So all we're doing right now, and all we have been doing, is identifying which equation to use and plugging it in. So 79.95 times 0.45 gives us a cost of $35.98. So before we start this slide, I want you to go on your guided notes and solve the problem called a buyer for a chain of boutiques. Solve that problem and then come back to the video. Okay, so the answer to that one, a buyer for a chain of boutiques, is on page 239. It's example 9 in your textbook. Let's take a look at converting percent markups from cost to selling price. So we need to convert based on cost percent to a based on selling price percent. And they've given us an equation here. So percent markup based on selling price equals the percent markup based on cost divided by 100% plus the percent markup based on cost. And then here is if you want to convert, based on selling price percent to a based on cost percent. So let's do a quick example here. If the markup on a machine is 43% based on selling price, what is the corresponding percent markup based on cost? So 43% divided by 100 minus 43. So 0.43 divided by 0.57%. So the percent markup based on cost is 75.4%. Now let's take a look at the opposite of this. If the markup on an oven is 200% based on cost, what is the corresponding percent markup based on selling price? So now we are going to do the 200% divided by 100% plus 200%, so 2 divided by 3, which is 66.7%. So the markup based on selling price is 66.7%. So in your guided notes, I want you to answer the if a purse problem, if a purse is marked up 60% based on cost. So pause the video, work on that, and then come back. Okay, so the if a purse problem, you can check your work on page 240. It's example 10. 240, example 10.